What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and I'll be like this video. We have a new show alert, okay? This is Harlem. It is on Amazon Prime. This is season 1, episode 1. Now, I see that throughout this season, there going to be some people on here that I love. Y'all know I love me some Whoopi. So Whoopi going to be on here. Y'all know I love me some Whoopi, girl. Jasmine Guy is on here, a.k.a. Whitley. Y'all know how we feel about Whitley over here, honey. Okay, so let's jump into it. This is a modern day Sex in the City, living single situationship. There was a show very similar to this on Stars that came on about 6 months ago called Run the World. I reviewed that. Y'all go check out that playlist. But it's very similar. We have 4 up-and-coming black professionals in Harlem, right? So the main character is Camille, who's played by Megan Good. Now, Camille is a professor. She's got her PhD. She's teaching at Columbia, but she's an adjunct. And her desire is to become a full-time professor. Now, she does have a job offer from Kansas State. And she's talking to a colleague, I guess the head of the department / mentor. And she tells her, girl, you ain't trying to go to Kansas. She was like, I'm not trying to go to Kansas, but I am trying to be full-time. Excuse me. And Columbia is playing games. And so she tells her, listen, next round of budgets, I'm going to move the money. I'm going to make sure that we have enough money to be able to pay you your work and bring you on full time. Just hold tight. Work with me. Now, I think her intentions are pure, but I don't feel like that's going to come through the way that she says it's going to come through. It just sounded too easy. And my thing is, if you could have done that all along, why you ain't do it? Why she's still an adjunct? If she's so valuable and you love her so much, why you going to take care of her now, but you wasn't taking care of her before? But we're going to put a pin in that because we didn't get there yet. We see her giving a lecture to her class about the Misu. I think I made that up. The Musa, the Musla tribe. It's a tribe of raw women. Very Wonder Woman Amazonian, right? Well, no, because they didn't have no men. They have men in this tribe, but basically they're in charge. The women decide who they're going to marry, and they say, you know, when that person no longer fulfills them and no longer gives them what they need, then they move on to their next husband. And it is no divorce. It's no court. It's just basically, you're no longer my husband. He is. And so she challenges her students to do that. Women, stop being so apologetic. Take control. And for the men, allow the women in your life to be in control. Don't question. Don't question them. But basically tell them, listen, yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She's also, got some dating issues, and we're going to get to that a little bit later on. Now, after she has class, she meets up with the rest of her girls, all right? We meet Angie. Angie is the loudmouth. She is an unemployed singer, sleeping on Quinn's couch. We can get to Quinn in a second. And Angie is the over, sexual, how they got to have these characters, right? But Angie is really dealing with some self-doubt. In college, she was up and coming, had signed a record deal. The deal fell through, and she's just sort of been in a funk ever since. She won't work a regular 9 to 5 because she says that I'm a singer. But she won't really put the effort into becoming a singer because she's sort of in this low funk mode. Now, like I said, she is sleeping on Quinn's couch. Now, Quinn is the trust fund baby. It's got this great apartment. Doesn't really have to worry about bills. Doesn't really have to, she got trust fund and her parents take care of her. And so she can afford to let Angie sleep on her couch because she ain't paying her bills either. But it looks like she has some sort of clothing company, like a designer, a fashion design company. Looks like that's what she does. Now, Ty is, I'm going to say lesbian. If I'm wrong, y'all correct me. But she runs a online dating app for queer people. That's her description, not mine. And we see that this big company was trying to come in and buy her out, right? And he was trying to lowball her. White guy was lowballing her, wanted to offer her $750,000, and she basically let him know what he could do with his $750,000, and that it was a lowball deal, and that she was not here for the shenanigans. And what was funny was the white man, he gonna turn to Ty's assistant and say, well, surely there's something you can do. Ty was like, who, my assistant? You want my assistant to help you make a deal with me? You want my assistant to tell me what I need to do with my company? And he looked so perplexed because the assistant was a white boy, right? He assumed that they were partners. He assumed that the young white boy had some sort of control in that room. And no disrespect to assistants, but he did not. Okay? And so, Quinn let it be known what you won't do is come in here and lowball me. That's what's not getting ready to happen. Now, I wasn't clear on whether she actually sold, like he actually, gave her the money she was asking for and she sold it or not. But I'm sure we'll get to that. So these are our characters, right? These are our four ladies that are going to be maneuvering through this. So in this episode, we see Megan, Camille, I'm trying to call her by her TV name, child. We see Camille and Angie walking through a gentrified Harlem, which they had a whole thing about the gentrification, which any of us who grew up in the city, we know, we've seen it. I see it in my wonderful city of Washington, D.C. The gentrification is real, and it's doing the same thing in Harlem. And they're walking through their gentrified city, and she rolls up on Ian. Now, Ian is played by Tyler Leppy. If y'all don't know who that is, baby, I'm going to direct you to P-Valley and the Have and the Have-Nots, okay? Fine. So, that's her ex-boyfriend. And what we find out is that they broke up because he wanted to go pursue his dreams of becoming a chef. And it looked like it wasn't a really good breakup. Like, very, heartbroken type situation. He wanted to pursue his dreams kind of thing. So she sees him and she is like, wait a minute, he is on my street. Like, there should be some sort of rule about exes not being on your street so that you don't have to run into them. She was like, I can't get to my apartment without passing him. So she said, well, wait a minute, let's duck. Because if he's going to his mama's house, then he's going to walk right past us and I ain't trying to see him. So from that point forward, he is on her mind. Okay, he is on her mind. And y'all know how that is. You see that ex that the one that you think got away, and maybe he wasn't on your mind every day, all day, but then you see him and it's like, damn. And then you start playing that what if game, right? The what ifs, the who ifs, and the how ifs game. Y'all know it. So the other thing we find out is Camille has a little crush. One of her students has a little crushy crush on her. Little boy, I shouldn't call him a little boy. Young man by the name of Malik. Now, Camille is clear to let him know, listen, son, there are very strict rules here at Columbia about professors dating their students, and what I'm not going to do is put my job on the line, put my career on the line, my reputation on the line for no fling with a student. That is not going to happen, okay? Now, Malik done rolled up on Camille down to her gym and let it be known, ma'am, I've dropped your class effective immediately. So what's up? What's good? And she was like, no, we're not doing this. Okay, I'm still not comfortable with this situation. I'm still not comfortable with the direction of this situation. Okay. And he takes her phone and puts his number in her phone and is like, listen, I'm just going to slide my number in your phone. You go ahead and give me a call whenever, however, whoever. Okay, we're going to make it do what it do down to the doo-doo. Okay? That didn't come out right down to the doo-doo. We don't want to say down to the doo-doo, but y'all know what I'm saying. Now, Ty is struggling in the dating area as well because Ty always dates the Instagram models, that end up being sort of high maintenance and not what she really wants or needs in her life. So she takes a chance and she's going out on a date with a boss, somebody that's running businesses and doing life like she doing life. And they go out on a date, and it's cool, it's whatever. And then they end up going back, to the bedroom to take care of some other business. And our girl is very demanding. Okay, she is very clear about what she wants, how she wants, and how she wants how to get her there. Okay, without being too graphic, read between those lines. And when it is all over said and done, baby, she picks up her purse and says, okay, I gotta go to the shower because I have a Tokyo call to make, okay? And Ty's like, what? How you just gonna leave me high and dry? Like, I thought I don't get none. Like, that's what we doing? So she realizes that is probably not her stilo either. Like, I tried it this way and it ain't working for me, so I might have to go back and reverse, okay? Now, Quinn, in her dating life, it seems like Quinn is very gullible. We find out that Quinn has dated all kinds of men who are never any good. The unemployed people, the people that done robbed her, took advantage of her. And so they are very sensitive about Quinn's choices and men that she's going to date. And Quinn lets them know that she has found her a man who is an employed attorney, but he lives in Long Island. And they were like, Long Island? How you going to go to Long Island and go date somebody? Like, that is a long way to travel for a date. But she lets them know it's cool, it's okay. Now, her and Angie end up getting into this huge argument because Angie is trying to tell her, because the guy wants them to meet up at 11, and Angie's trying to tell her, listen, that's not a date. That's a booty call. Like, you don't go nowhere to meet no man at 11 o'clock at night unless you think it's about to go down. Like, that's not what we do. And she was dressed like a grandma. She kind of let her know that too. Like, but you dress like a little grandma. Like, what's going on? And so they end up getting into an argument because, of course, Quinn got in her feelings and got offended because Quinn was like, but, you like, you giving me a hard time. You just jealous because you too scared to go out here and get a real job and stand on the stage and sing to some people. And because Angie had told her that she was going to do an open mic, but Angie made it seem like it was a job. And so Quinn got all excited and didn't realize that it's not a real job, it's an open mic. And so Angie was in her feelings because she felt like Quinn was foo-fooing on, her dreams. And so she lashed out at Quinn and she kind of foo-fooed on Quinn. And so it turned into a really bad argument, which ended with Angie basically saying she was going to move out and Quinn telling her to move out, right? So Quinn and Angie, they got into their argument. So Quinn goes to her. She meets up with old boy, 11 o'clock in the morning. 11 o'clock at night, she meets with old boy, and they're meeting at a club. It's a disaster. She is definitely not dressed appropriately. Somebody comes by and drops a red drink on her white wool slacks, and she gets all blustered and kerfuffled, and she gets up to go to the bathroom to try to rinse out her pants, and she tells the man, can you watch my purse? I knew then we were in trouble. Ma'am, I don't care how, I like the show, but this was my first little complaint. I don't care how naive you are. I don't care how pampered you are. I don't care how, you are 20-something years old, and you have lived in New York your whole life. You don't know this man from a hole in the wall. You left your purse and your cell phone with him? Ma'am, no ma'am. Ma'am, no ma'am. First of all, if y'all sitting at the bar together, he should be holding your seat anyway, regardless, okay? And if he does let your seat get taken, when you come back, then he's supposed to get his ass up and you sit down in the seat. So you shouldn't have to worry about having a seat when you came back from the bathroom. That's number one. Number two, you don't know this man from a hole in the wall. You tell him, watch your purse? And you didn't have your cell phone? So, of course, she comes out of the bathroom, and guess what? He gone, sold her purse, and he left the damn bill. You could have at least paid the bill with her credit card. Like, damn, you gonna leave her with no money, no cell phone, no credit card, no nothing, and leave the bill? That's what we doing now? Because I'm sure she had her cell phone. She could at least hit the Apple Pay, tap, something, but you just left her high and dry. So, of course, now she is stuck in Long Island, and she's at the train station trying to get somebody, help her get home. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma'am. Can you please help a sister out? And the one dude let her know, listen, I don't know where you think you're going, but the next train don't leave until 5 o'clock. Don't get here until 5 o'clock in the morning. So now she is stuck all night in Long Island with no way to contact nobody, call nobody about nothing. And when she finally does get somebody to let her use her phone, who she call? Who she call, y'all? Angie. And Angie was there for her because they are friends. At the end of the day, they are friends. That is what they do, honey. So Angie came to pick her up. And Quinn was like, don't say it, don't say nothing. I'm not here for it. I'm not in the mood for it. Keep all your opinions to yourself. And she was like, girl, I got you. I ain't about to sit here and do that and throw that in your face. Girl, yes, you are. You about to throw all that in her face. We know you are, and it's okay. Camille ends up calling Malik. She's sitting there. She's reminiscing on that old thing, Ian, or her old man, and she ends up calling Malik to come over. She sets the ground rules from the very beginning because she was like, what I'm not going to do is get me tooed up in this piece. So let's be clear about what this is, okay? Ain't nobody trying to have no relationship. Ain't nobody trying to make you my boo thing. We about to get it in. You about to scratch my itch. I guess I'll scratch your itch, and that's what it's going to be. And baby, he throws them legs up and invites her to his, asshole. And she was like, oh no, man, Pam. That's not what I invited you here for. So I'm sorry to tell you, but it is time for you to go. It is time for me to go because that is not what's going to happen. So that, she was about to put her whole reputation on the line for some stuff that wasn't about to be nothing happening. Okay? So all of the ladies end up converging down to the open mic for Angie while Camille is letting them know how her little date that never happened went. Okay? And she gets up to go to drink go get a drink from the bar, and who is standing there? That old thing, Ian. He is standing there with his back to her once again, not paying attention. And she is sitting there like, now what do I do? Do I turn around and do I walk and sit back at my table like I didn't see him like I did when I saw him down to the Harlem Street? Or do I roll up on him and say, hey, boo, hey, where you been? Why you ain't called me? You came back to town. You ain't hit the sister up. What's good? So the episode ends with her walking up on him like she get ready to tap him on his shoulder, but we don't see her actually tap him on his shoulder, and that's where the episode ends. Listen, I like the show. I don't know how many episodes have dropped. I'm going to go ahead and try to get us caught up this week, okay? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in those comments. Peace.